We're shaking people. Back with another reaction, back with some more Cocteau Twins. And we're going back to their 1983 album, Head Over Heels. I wanted to say I've enjoyed the way this album sounds like a fusion of the dark, brooding, heavily atmospheric sounds we heard on Garlands, but also some of the more percussive and even lighter, or at the very least, more dynamic sounds we heard on some of the EPs leading up to this album. So yeah, ultimately, it's been a cool journey so far, hearing some differences and similarities from things that came before. The next tune is called Multifoiled. I mean, multi, straightforward, we're talking more than one. Foiled, I mean, foil is used in different ways. It's a certain type of metallic substance. It's also a mathematical process. It's a literary technique. So I'm not quite sure what it will be, and ultimately, once again, I am well aware their lyrics are often more about setting a scene or putting a mood on the sonics rather than being a full, elaborate narrative where each step is spelled out specifically. So I will nevertheless keep an ear out for any particular lines that may inform the title. Let's listen to it. This is Multifoiled by Cocteau Twins from the 1983 album Head Over Heels. Jazzy swagger to it. When it strips down. Very austere. Bit of a bluesy feel. Techno had those ride cymbals that kind of stand out. I'm sad to hear it fade, especially when she's doing some cool stuff vocally, hitting those babas with some aplomb. Seriously, I love her voice. It's crazy. It's, I listen to a lot of awesome female vocalists going through all these different deep dives, both solo artists and, lead singers of duos or groups. But she really is, kind of on her own island. She just has her own style, and, now I feel like I could hear her sing a tune for the first time, and odds are I feel like I would recognize it. But yeah, ultimately, I enjoy the, again, slightly more consonant. It's not dark and brooding and, hypnotic in a, lurking forest sort of way. It was, as I said, jazzy. It had some swagger. It had some bluesy grit to it. Yeah, it felt like a real, in fact, it had a bit of a sultry vibe to it. Not that her voice was really hitting it in that jazz singer walking among the crowd way. I've done some reactions to tunes like that recently. Her voice was still, again, in its own dimension, but the Sonics had a bit of like, you know, not just swagger, but like flirtatious swagger. There was like a sultry sound to some of the Sonics in this one. So, yeah, I enjoyed the once again like the expanding palette of Cocteau Twins as we go through this early material, and especially as we go through this album. So, again, shout out to Han Solo for sharing all this. Shout out to Doug for sending me Treasure, which we've yet to go through, but which I have a physical copy of. Shout out to Mark and others for their great comments on the group. And yeah, just looking forward to more from this really incredible group that, until I began these deep dives and Han Solo brought them to my attention, I had never even heard of. So, big shout out to all of you. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.